The wind cut across the plains like a blade, carrying dust and the scent of dry grass. The barefoot woman stood at the edge of the road, her dress worn thin, her feet cracked and bleeding from miles of walking. She had learned not to look down. Pain slowed you, and slowing meant hunger. Hunger meant death. She lifted her chin instead and stared at the vast land ahead, empty and merciless. She had once belonged somewhere. A home, a husband, a future. All of it had burned away in one brutal season. War, sickness, bad luck. She didn't bother naming which one had taken more from her. The result was the same. She was alone. And alone, a woman didn't last long. That was when she saw him. He rode in from the west like something carved from stone. Massive, broad-shouldered. His horse seemed small beneath him, its hooves steady, controlled. He didn't rush. Men like him never did. They didn't need to. He slowed when he saw her. Most men stared. Some laughed. Others looked away, pretending not to see desperation when it stood right in front of them. This man studied her as if weighing something important. Not her body, not her fear, her resolve. You shouldn't be out here barefoot, he said. His voice was deep, calm, carrying authority without cruelty. It startled her more than shouting ever could. I don't have shoes, she answered simply. He nodded, as if that confirmed something he already knew. Silence followed. Long, uncomfortable. She braced herself for what usually came next. An offer. A bargain. Men always wanted something when they stopped. And he did. You'll give me 5 strong sons, he said evenly, and you'll never struggle again. The words landed heavy, absurd, terrifying. She laughed once, sharp and bitter. That's your idea of mercy. No, he replied. It's survival. She stared at him, really stared. His face was weathered, scarred by years of sun and cold. His eyes were steady, unreadable. He didn't leer. He didn't smirk. He spoke as if discussing cattle or land, something practical. Necessary. You don't even know my name, she said. I don't need to, he replied. I know what the world does to women like you. That angered her, not because it wasn't true, but because it was. I won't be bought, she said, forcing strength into her voice. I won't be bred like livestock. Something shifted then, not anger, respect. You misunderstand, he said. I'm not buying you. I'm offering you a place where no one will ever own you again. Including me. She shook her head. That's not how promises work. Maybe not where you're from, he said. But on my land, a promise is law. She turned away, heart pounding. The offer echoed in her mind like a drumbeat. 5 sons. Never struggle again. Food, shelter, protection. At what cost? No, she said, but, she didn't finish the sentence. He watched her walk away, barefoot steps fading into the dust. He didn't follow. She collapsed near sunset, legs shaking, vision swimming. Hunger won. Pride always did in the end. She curled against a rock, teeth chattering as the temperature dropped. Night in the open plains was unforgiving. She didn't hear him approach. She felt it. A shadow blocked the stars. I knew you'd be here, he said quietly. She didn't answer. She didn't have the strength. He dismounted and draped a thick coat around her shoulders without asking. The warmth was immediate and overwhelming. She flinched. Not from fear, but from how badly she needed it. I didn't come to force you, he said. I came because leaving you would make me a liar. A liar, she whispered. I promised you survival, he said. That doesn't end because you said no. He lifted her like she weighed nothing. She wanted to protest, to fight. Instead, she cried, silent tears soaking into his coat as exhaustion claimed her. When she woke, she was inside a cabin. Solid wood walls, a fire crackling, bread on the table, clean water, and shoes by the bed. She sat up sharply. He was there, leaning against the far wall, arms crossed, giving her space. You can leave at sunrise, he said. No debt, no obligation. She swallowed. Why? Because choice matters, he replied. If you stay, it has to be because you choose to. She ate slowly, savoring every bite. He didn't watch her like a predator. He watched like a guardian, alert, distant, restrained. What happens if I stay? She asked. You work the land if you want, he said. You keep your name, your will, you walk away anytime. And the sons? She asked. A pause. That was an offer, he said. Not a demand. She studied him, this giant of a man who spoke softly. Who offered power without chains. Why 5? She asked. He looked toward the fire. Because I built this land with my hands. And one day, I'll be gone. I want it to belong to strength, not cruelty. She nodded slowly. I'll stay, she said. But on my terms. He inclined his head, as it should be. Days turned into weeks. She healed, gained strength, learned the land. He taught her without condescension. How to read clouds, mend fences, respect animals. They spoke at night, about loss, about endurance, about the quiet ways the world breaks people. He never touched her without permission. That mattered more than she could explain. One evening, as a storm rolled in, she stood beside him on the porch. You warned me you were too much, she said softly. I am, he replied. She smiled faintly. So am I. Thunder cracked overhead. She reached for his hand. He didn't pull away. Years later, the land thrived. Children laughed in the fields. Strong, loud, alive. Not owned, not controlled, loved. She stood barefoot on the porch again, but this time by choice, watching the sun rise over a future she had helped build. He came up behind her, resting a hand on her shoulder. You said no, he murmured. She leaned into him. But I stayed, and the world, for once, had kept its promise.